most of the differences that you face as a gay couple are more perceptions of what you guys are doing or not having experience working with a gay couple in surrogacy, or is it more legal in the law?
I think it's probably a bit of both. It's a combination of the two. I mean, and I think it's also about how people's perception of the law, because you know, our NHS trust works to the same law as a lot of other trusts, but they were still able to give us a very positive experience. So that was within the law. But I think it's about the trust and the people working with you being open to having conversations about, you know, I remember being in the early stages of us meeting our consultant, coming away from the meeting and saying to Michael, this doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. It's not fair and it doesn't feel right. And it kind of just stuck in my throat that we're not going to accept this. And we didn't. And they did change because I think it's having the confidence and the ability to be able to challenge and say, no, I'm not going to accept this. This is not right. Because I think a lot of same-sex couples, particularly male, are so
grateful for where they
are to be in that position that they just accept anything.
And that's not us. You know, that's why we're quite outspoken, and you could probably push us more on the activist side, because I'm fine with being called an activist.
But we just won't put up with it.
No, and I want to leave a legacy for other intended fathers, that the work and the path that we pave, and this isn't to be some hero, but this is to ensure that other couples don't have to go through some of the legal expenses that we went through, because we had to send an intention to sue this particular hospital, which cost us thousands of pounds
because it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And you know, fortunately, when we did that, our initial, you know, intention to sue, it was very early on in our relationship with the trust. But you know, we started open dialogue with them about the things that we really needed to make our pregnancy, and we didn't want anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, we weren't asking for this child to be delivered by a swarm of white doves. This was we just wanted a regular pregnancy.
We just wanted the same as everyone else.
Yeah, and we weren't being given the same as everybody else. You know, when you're told you will have your baby given to you in the car park because that's what you would have to do, because that's what the law states.
No, the law it was more about them trying to do everything off the trust's facilities, so they didn't want it to happen on handover
in the hospital. It had to be outside of the hospital, and
we were just like,
no, we're not going to stand for that. But by standing up for that, the Department of Health, which is obviously who acts on behalf of the government, they then re-released updated guidance for surrogates and intended parents and for healthcare professionals, which is what we were involved in February of 2018. And that got re-released 2 years after our child was born, for hospitals to go, do you know what? That was unacceptable before. You guys now need to adopt these new sets of rules.
But that's just the first stage. And although it's guidance, trusts don't have to accept it. So what we're doing now is trying to understand what trusts have adopted the revision in guidance and which trusts have just kept it the same. Because we're not, this is something now that we're really passionate about. And I don't think people realise the impact it has on them when they're starting their journey. And, you know, going through 2 successful journeys within an NHS Trust hospital, it can be done. So, you know, we aren't going to accept a trust telling us that it has to be this and it has to be that. We're going to work tirelessly to make sure that trusts adopt a friendly policy that works for all.